Thank you, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. I would like to thank UNESCO for bringing us together here at the Ministerial Roundtable of the Transforming Education Pre-Summit. Over the past 4 years, including during the COVID-19 pandemic, the government of Iceland has focused on a holistic approach to education and children's welfare and prosperity. We have conducted an extensive revision of Iceland's education policy, laws and social frameworks on matters concerning children and youth through a wide-ranging consultation process with special focus on active participation of children and youth themselves. This year, a new comprehensive and revolutionary act on the integration of services in the interest of children's prosperity entered into force after multi-stakeholder consultation involving all political parties, including many ministries, municipalities, NGOs, and specialists. Last year, the Icelandic Parliament also adopted a policy and a financed action plan called Child-Friendly Iceland in order to make a more systematic approach to the implementation of the Convention on the Rights of the Child in every community, every city, and every school. At the same time, we are implementing a 10-year education strategy, Education Policy 2030, adopted by the Parliament that establishes Iceland's objective to achieve a dynamic and flexible education system. An integral part of the education policy is to rethink teachers' preparation, support to new teachers, and continuous professional development. I would like to mention the importance of transformation of the strategic governance of education. In Iceland, we are in the middle of transforming the government, and we have recently established a new Ministry of Education and Children that will coordinate the implementation of policies on education and children's affairs in line with the International Convention and Guidelines, the Global Education Agenda 2030, and national priorities for the future. But last but not least, part of this transformation is setting up a special economic department within the Ministry of Education and Children, because we often talk about it as an investment, but there's a lack of measuring it as an investment, measuring the gain, and how we will get the investment paid back. And I strongly believe that this is the key to the future and transforming education. Thank you for listening, and now, as already has been told, I'm delivering a special statement on behalf of 53 countries altogether: Albania, Andorra, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Chile, Croatia, the Cook Islands, Costa Rica, Czechia, Cyprus, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Georgia, Greece, Guatemala, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Moldova, Monaco, Montenegro, the Netherlands, New Zealand, North Macedonia, Norway, Republic of Korea, Poland, Portugal, Romania, St. Lucia, San Marino, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Uganda, Ukraine, the United Kingdom, the United States, and my own country, Iceland. The illegal, unprovoked, and unjustified war of the Russian Federation against Ukraine continues to kill and hurt innocent children and causing devastating effects on the right to education for people across the invaded country. The war has disrupted the education of 7.5 million children who were living in Ukraine. According to the latest data reported by Ukraine's UN representative, over 2,000 educational institutions across the country are reported to have been hit, shelling and bombing. Close to 200 have been completely destroyed, devastation that will have a long-term negative impact on access to quality education for Ukrainian children and youth. Just as in peacetime, the right to education during time of war remains an essential human right. Attacks against this right to education cannot be tolerated anywhere in the world. Education is a lifeline of humanity and hope. In Ukraine, as in many other countries affected by armed conflict or a ruthless regime, this hope is under attack. We acknowledge the efforts aimed at facilitating the continuation of education in armed conflict, including the efforts of member states that have endorsed the Safe Schools Declaration, including Ukraine. We emphasize the importance of enabling refugees to continue their studies and access catch-up and remedial education where learning has been disrupted. We warmly welcome the initiatives taken by member states to host and integrate Ukrainian student refugees and international students formally studying in Ukraine. We also welcome the provision of the necessary facilities and tools for students, continued access to the Ukrainian curriculum, as well as the support provided by UNESCO and other partners to minimize educational disruption and promote continuity of learning. It is estimated by UNICEF that 3.7 million children in Ukraine and abroad are using online and distance learning options. This underscores the importance of facilitating distance learning solutions to support online teaching and learning for these students, including the production of holistic digital learning content, mental health and psychosocial support and teachers training. We stress the importance of promoting holistic quality education and lifelong learning for children and youth that are refugees or internally displaced anywhere in the world. In its Resolution 2601, adopted unanimously in October 2021, the UN Security Council strongly condemned attacks that are in contravention of international humanitarian law against schools, against civilians connected with school, including children and teachers, and urged all parties to armed conflict to immediately cease such attacks and to refrain from actions that impede access to education. Referring to the 7th Special Sessions decision of the UNESCO Executive Board, we demand the immediate withdrawal of the Russian forces from the territory of Ukraine and the cessation by the Russian Federation of hostilities against Ukrainian civilians in contravention to international humanitarian law, including children, youth, teachers and education workers, as well as kindergartens, schools, colleges and universities. On the eve of the Transforming Educational Summit, dedicated to the transformative power of education for sustainable and peaceful future, we call on the Russian Federation to cease its shameful attacks on the Ukrainian people, to respect the right to education in full conformity to the UN Security Council resolution, and respect its responsibilities under the United Nations Charter. Thank you.